All right. So the movie this week we all watched was The Lost City, starring Sandra Bullock,
Channing
and
Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Yeah. And Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe was in it, which
Brad
I
Pitt.
didn't know.
And Brad Pitt. I was gonna say Brad Pitt.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get into all that stuff in a second. So I'll throw on the trailer. Jen, you guys got the synopsis up, or you want me to you got it?
Sure do. Yeah, I got one up.
All right, go for it, dude.
All right. So, reclusive author Loretta Sage, played by Sandra Bullock, writes about exotic places in her popular adventure novels that feature a handsome cover model named Alan. Alan is played by a Fabio lookalike Channing Tatum here. So she's known for her romantic, adventurous novels. And while on tour promoting her new book with Alan, Loretta gets kidnapped by an eccentric billionaire played by Daniel Radcliffe, who hopes she can lead him to an ancient city's lost treasure, hence the name Lost City, from her latest story, which is deemed to be fictional, but she actually has some insight on the actual origins of this lost treasure. Determined to prove that Alan can be a hero in real life and not just a cover model, and not just on the pages of her books, Alan sets off to rescue her. And he does so with the help, very small help, of Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt I was so happy to see him for the time that he was in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's an adventurous kind of novel. We've seen this movie many, many times, right? You pull somebody in for, adventure to look for a lost treasure. It's been done like how many times this year? Already like 2 times, 3 times.
Every Sandra Bullock movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
He's been the same character in the last 6
with
movies.
Ryan Reynolds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Oh,
So,
it's so funny.
an odd couple kind of movie, odd couple adventure movie. I think I'll put it as. But bring that down. So yeah, I mean, that's probably the best synopsis for the movie because that kind of like explained everything.
Exactly. It was the movie. You told him the movie. That was it.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Nah, like that.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, the trailer probably gives away everything in the movie, which kind of sucks and is, but well, let's start off with some of the good stuff. Why don't you go first, Will? Some of the good stuff.
All right. The movie had a decent amount of one-liners. They had the part where it's the Lost City, and in the book it's called the Lost City of D. And so Daniel Radcliffe has a nice little line where he's like, "Yeah, the city was first came up just a tip," and he had a little funny little bit. There was a bunch of good one-liners. The movie itself, flow-wise, was okay. It had a beginning, middle, and end. It was nice for the fact that that's the best way I can put it. It had a beginning, middle, and end.
You're not
But
wrong.
it was an hour and 45 minutes long. So I was happy that it didn't drag.
You're happy it was over, huh?
I was happy it was over. So it was nice to see Brad Pitt being super badass. He was known as the pretty character as he always is in his roles, right? And yeah, the chemistry between Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock was definitely an odd pairing. But they had a few moments together. The leech scene, the scene where Channing Tatum finally showed off his best acting with his little monologue of, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Blah, blah. So that was okay. It had its moments. What about you, Brian? What do you think really stood out to you?
My whole favorite part of the whole movie is Daniel Radcliffe. I just love seeing Harry Potter do what he does. He don't care about anything he does. He don't care about the character he does. He's just awesome. He's gonna be himself all the time. Every time I see him, he's Harry Potter. It doesn't matter what he does. Harry Potter. That's the best part.
Yeah.
And Channing Tatum being Fabio was awesome. That's what he was. He was Fabio.
He was
just
Fabio.
what it was. And trying to pretend like, oh, now I'm a badass. That's all that was. It was funny. But Sandra Bullock, literally, you could taken her from that movie with Ryan Reynolds, The Proposal, and put her into this movie, and it's she did exactly the same stuff. It's the exact same movie. I was like, okay, this time we're gonna go figure out we're doing this adventure. She acted exactly the same way. It's the same chemistry. It was very weird. The whole thing was just like, all right, why are we doing this? But Channing Tatum was hilarious. I love his comedic like timing. It's hilarious. You know, but yeah, Channing Tatum and Dan Radcliffe are the two best parts. Besides that, I was happy it was over.
Yeah. Well, for me, definitely, I agree with you, Channing Tatum and Danny Radcliffe, but also Brad Pitt. Like just even how they introduced him, he was like, "Oh, he was my trainer." I was like, and then Jack Trainer is his name. He's like, "Oh, you have him as Jack Trainer." That was a funny joke that just it lasted just the right amount of time where they said it just enough. And he stole the scenes he was in, but luckily he wasn't in that many. But yeah, he was the real life version of that the cover model that Channing Tatum was pretending to be. So that was kind of funny, but he was just so funny and supportive. He's like, stay in the car. He's like the whole time stay in the car. But even Fiat. Like when he was the little Fiat. Oh, that was hilarious. Like even like that like kind of got me like a little chuckle. But yeah, I thought he was pretty good because the whole time when like he knocks somebody out and he like they spin and then Channing Tatum hits him, he goes, "You need to stop doing that, man." Like so I was like, like them together. I don't know if they're in a movie together. They had really good chemistry together. Like Brad Pitt and Channing Tatum. Yeah, they were really funny. And I'm like, I want to see more of them together. They need to do something else together. Because that was pretty dang good. That was really good. But yeah, and then luckily Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock had the chemistry, but also I think like Brian said, Sandra Bullock has been in this kind of role forever, so she knows how to make chemistry. But yeah, she was kind of the same, but Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, Brad Pitt were by far like the best. Were really, really good. All the little jokes, like you said, one-liners. So I had a laugh at a lot of it. What you looking at?
I was just looking to see if there was a movie with them two in it, but no, this is the only one.
There used to be.
I don't think so. There used to be. Oh, it needs to be. Yeah,
there needs to be.
I agree. I agree.
Tatum say based his character 100% off of Brad Pitt. That's hilarious too.
That's funny.
That's the 90s Brad Pitt. That's who I was.
Yeah. So what about some bad stuff? I'll have Brian go first. What is stuff you didn't like?
Everything else. I really like Sandra Bullock. I really do. It was like pulling teeth. Oh my gosh. Watching it over. It just wasn't good. The story wasn't good. The chemistry to me was just like off. Everything didn't make sense. I don't think it was a good movie at all. I'm sorry. The best part of this movie was the fact that it was an hour and 45 minutes long. That was it. I mean, honestly, as you say, besides the one-liners, I was not enjoying the movie. I walked away. I can't watch this anymore. What's the point of this?
So, yeah. What about you, Will? What's some bad stuff?
So I mentioned the flow. It flowed right as a movie, but you could have taken out so much from the movie, and it would have been the same bad movie. So, for example, like Daniel Radcliffe, you would have taken him out. If you would have taken Brad Pitt, it was just a bunch of blah. Sandra Bullock, she's a decent actress at best. But she doesn't wow me. This movie was supposed to be an adventure. It's supposed to get your kind of heart rate up, and you're supposed to be suspenseful of what's going to happen next. And it didn't do it for me. So the fact that, the movie didn't move me, it didn't have me on the edge of my seat. What else was really bad? They killed Brad Pitt so damn early. Spoiler alert. I feel like he should have been in the movie longer, and it wouldn't have saved the movie, but it would have made it more enjoyable.
If he would have came back like we thought he died, and he came back and saved it, like that would have been really good. I thought that was going to happen.
Or like he had a twin brother or some shit. Like I'm James Trainer. Like they could have done that.
I'm James Trainer. That's funny.
Yeah.
But just overall, like, and Daniel Radcliffe at the end of the movie, really, like, you know, really sucked for the fact that, you know, Daniel Radcliffe gets like saved by a boat. His crew bails on him, so there was no good bad guy, you know, part to this movie, because even the bad guys abandoned their boss. And you know, he didn't use the gun to, like, he had a gun at the end of the movie, right? And he kept, you know, threatening Sandra and Channing Tatum. He didn't even utilize that to get them out of their little casket and help them, you know, escape the island. You know, there were so many flaws within the plot that it made the movie not watchable. That's all I got. What about you, Tank? What did you not like?
Yeah, I mean, some of the shots looked really cool, and then some of the shots looked like it was just like a shitty green screen. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how I just felt like, yeah, exactly. You know, I was like, I guess I was like, you know, I guess it was a COVID movie, so like stuff like that had to happen. I don't know, but then there's other scenes that were like shot pretty cool, you know. So yeah, that was just a weird throw off. But Sandra Bullock, I love her. I think she's a pretty good actress. She hasn't done anything great lately, but this is right up her wheelhouse, you know, this like odd couple kind of thing. And I feel like she was the odd one out, though, you know, because everyone else, all the main characters in it, even Beth, I thought was kind of funny. Oscar Nunez was in it as Oscar, like the he was kind of funny. Allison, Patty Harrison was the social media girl. Like everyone was funny and had their little part except for her, and she's the main part. And I don't know. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what, like, is she over it? I don't know.
I think it's just written that way, honestly. She was supposed to be the straight man, and just she was boring. Instead of being the straight man, because the straight man is supposed to, you know, keep everything like, this is the way I am. Characters exactly the same. This is what you are. It's just boring. You know, I felt like this movie was lower quality once that movie, the Adam Project. The Adam Project had a better quality of movie than this movie, and that's kind of a problem. I mean, why is Netflix outdoing, you know, an actual movie that's going to the movie theater? I mean, that's it probably should have been on Netflix or Apple TV or something like that.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah, this should have been a streaming movie for sure. Definitely a streaming movie. But cool, man. Let's just go right into our official review ratings for it. Why don't you go let them know how we do it well?
Sure. So us spoiler kings over here at the Nerd Huddle like to review movies a little bit differently. We don't use the 5-star rating. We don't do the thumbs up, thumbs down. We like to be a little bit different. So if you see over here to my left, we have the watch now, watch later, or watch never. These are the 3 ranks that we will rate a movie. So a watch now means, hey, this movie was badass. It's top priority. Go watch it right now because it's that good. A watch later means, the movie could be, you know, saved for later. Put it on the back burner and not care about it too much. And then a watch never means, don't give this movie any kind of day because it was trash, utter trash. With that being said, Brian, you want to go ahead and rate the movie first? Think what you thought.
I'm going to give it the bottom of later. almost never, but it was funny. So like if I watched it, if it was on TNT, I'd probably put it on and let it just go ahead and play while I wash the dishes. You know, like while I fold some clothes. It's not something I will go out to go watch ever, but it's definitely something that I think it was good enough to, you know, if you're doing something or you know you just watched a good movie and you just kind of want to let something watch you, it's fine. It's fine to watch. So basically, like every Miss Congeniality too, you know, like it's those type of movies. You know, like, you know, if it's on, I'm not gonna throw the TV. I throw my control at the TV, but you know, it could play. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm not giving attention to it.
Yeah. What about you, Will? Why don't you go ahead?
So Brian, you said later, right?
Bottom,
Is that what you
yeah,
said?
the bottom of later.
Bottom of it later.
Like almost
Yeah.
never.
Almost never.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie a never. A never. It had its good moments. It had moments where it made me laugh, right? You guys mentioned the supporting actors in this that really made us laugh. But because it didn't, it was supposed to be an adventurous movie from the adventurous book that Sandra's character made. It didn't fall through. So for that, it lost me as an audience member. So I'm going to go ahead and say that you should never see this movie, even throwing it on the background while you're doing chores and whatnot. Nah, I won't watch this movie again. So what do you think, Tank? What do you think this falls on there?
I was stuck between later and never. But I'm probably gonna give it a never. Just the little one-liners aren't worth going to see this movie. And even by the time it comes out on streaming, all those little one-liners that we just said are gonna be on YouTube clips. Like they have to promote the people buying the movie, and they're gonna show the best parts. So there you go. You know, like you want to see the funny Tom.
FX has the movies, you know. You can watch FX.
This is gonna be on FX by the end of the year for sure. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't enough. Like the side characters were good, but they weren't enough to pull it off. You know, I think this was just. I just felt like it was a Sandra Bullock going through the motions. It wasn't like not doing anything. You know, and I think we said this before. Like this is Sandra Bullock's probably one of my least favorite movies with her, but it's also Channing Tatum, one of my better movies with him in it, you know? So it's like, that just says like how high she usually is and how low he usually is. But he does a lot of like funny, good stuff. And he knows comedy, which you wouldn't expect, but he knows how to make himself look kind of stupid and funny at the same time. So, and I just feel like Sandra didn't know what to do with it.
So if you hadn't watched this movie and it came out on TBS, and it's either that or you're watching, I don't know, Thor: Dark World for the 15th. Which one would you watch?
And I haven't seen this movie.
Yeah, you haven't seen this movie. You have no idea. And Thor: Dark World is coming on, and you got this movie. Which one you watching?
If I haven't seen it, I will probably watch it just because it'll be new. But now that I've seen them both, I'll probably watch Thor: Dark World or any Marvel movie over this.
Yeah, I pick Dark World.
Understand.
Yeah, even like 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. I watch those are always on. I watch one of those again. You know, like with Channing Tatum. You know, so. Yeah,
I watched Channing Tatum say, "My name is Jeff" 1,000 times before I watch this movie again.
Yeah.
That's how much I don't want to see it.
It just wasn't good. And then we also do Rotten Tomatoes, which for some reason I don't know, the website's acting funny. But on the Google where it gives me all the things, it says it's a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. And then it also got 60% on Metacritic. So it's just kind of not too much on and then on Google itself, it's a 3.5. So right in there. So for me, Rotten Tomatoes wasn't showing up. Usually I can see there he goes. So so the audience gave it an 85%. So are we wrong with this one? And then the critics gave it 75%. So the audience liked it.
I mean, Tatum is hilarious and Daniel Radcliffe is great. Sandra Bullock could be boring. Brad Pitt's awesome. Just the rest of the movie is just
I would have been cool if Sandra Bullock got killed instead of Brad Pitt, and then have it be Brad Pitt and Channing Tatum for the rest of the movie. I feel like that.
Wow,
that would have been good.
That would have been a home run right there.
Their chemistry together was
Canada would came and killed you. You can't just kill Sandra Bullock. Canada, all of Canada will come get you.
Oh yeah. You don't ever kill Sandra Bullock. you don't do that. But yeah. Oh man. So yeah, that's it, man. For that, it was a long review today. And then real quick, I want to give a shout out to everyone on YouTube. Thank you. We just hit 169 subscribers. You know, so we're one away from 170. we appreciate it. We've been having really good comments coming in and stuff like that. A bunch of good videos. So make sure you go check us out there. We're gonna finish up Bel Air this week. We're gonna start Moon Knight. We're gonna start Halo. Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff coming up.
Come on, guys, drive to 200.
Yeah, we're
I'm up at the ante.
One away.
I'm up at the ante. We'll do a video about it. Tell you more.
200, yeah. And then next week, what we got going on next week? Morbius.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
So many bad things about it.
Yeah. So then we'll do Morbius, and we'll figure that out. But cool. Anything else, guys, before we get out?
Nah.
No.
Don't see this movie.
Yeah. Skip it. But cool. But yeah, if you're watching it on the replay, make sure you like, subscribe, let us know how you liked Lost City. Go check out our other videos of our Oscars, of the slap, all our Bel Air stuff, all our Oscar reviews that we did of all the best pictures, and make sure you hit that bell button and know when we go live. And we do lives Mondays and Wednesdays, so you come in and hang out with us and talk crap like everyone else does. And then shout out to Jimmy, Alyssa, Derpy Gaming, Marvin, all coming in and hanging out with us in chat. Joel.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. Oli, of course. How did I forget Oli? And Pajama Life. Thank you. But yeah, cool. Let's get out of here, man. Time for bed. I'm tired. Cool, guys. See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.